"You're so exotic, like a beautiful piece of art I finally own." Connor whispered this in my ear at a gala in front of Atlanta's elite while his hand gripped my waist like I was property. 6 months later, I discovered he meant it literally. I was specimen number 8 in his private blog where 10,000 white men studied his field notes on dating black women. 17 of us found each other, sued him for $3.2 million, and destroyed his life. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Stay with me, and I'll tell you how a Harvard-educated lawyer became a fetish object, how I escaped, and why Connor Mitchell is now banned from every dating app in America. Hello, everyone. My name is Zara Thompson, and I'm 29 years old, living in Atlanta, Georgia. This story isn't easy to tell, but I need to share it because there are Connor Mitchells everywhere, white men who hunt black women not for love, but for collection. Men who see us as experiences to document, not humans to cherish. If my story saves even one sister from becoming someone's exotic beauty, then every painful word is worth it. I'm a corporate attorney at one of the top law firms in Atlanta, Howard University undergrad, Harvard Law School. I worked my ass off to get where I am, and I'm damn proud of it. It was a Thursday evening in September when I decided to give dating apps one more try. After a string of disappointing relationships, I thought, why not? Atlanta has plenty of successful, educated men. What could go wrong? I matched with Connor Mitchell almost immediately. 35, CEO of a revolutionary tech startup focused on democratizing education through AI. His profile was carefully curated, photos from charity galas, him speaking at conferences, a strategically placed bookshelf featuring James Baldwin and Ta-Nehisi Coates. His first message came within minutes. "Finally, a beautiful, educated black queen who can match my intellect. Your profile is refreshing. Harvard Law and Howard undergrad. Black excellence at its finest. Fire." I should have unmatched right then. The racial qualifiers, the finally, as if he'd been searching specifically for someone like me. The immediate focus on my race rather than anything I'd written about my interests or career. But I was tired, lonely, and he was handsome in that clean-cut, old-money way that suggested stability. "Thanks for the compliment," I replied. "I see you're in tech. What kind of education platform are you building?" "I'd love to tell you about it over dinner. Fair warning, though, I've been told I have a thing for brilliant black women. You're exactly my type." My best friend Jasmine would later ask me why I didn't block him immediately. The truth? After years of code switching in predominantly white corporate spaces, having someone openly appreciate my blackness felt different. I mistook fetishization for acceptance. Our first date was at Marcel, Atlanta's most expensive steakhouse. Connor had reserved a private dining room. When I walked in, he stood up and just stared for a moment. "Wow, you're even more stunning in person. That skin, it's like mahogany. Absolutely gorgeous." "Thank you," I said, uncomfortable but trying to be polite. The evening was a parade of red flags disguised as compliments. He asked about my hair routine because it's so fascinating. He mentioned his ex-girlfriend Keisha within the first hour, then Tamara, then Destiny. All black women. "I've always been drawn to black women," he explained over wine. "There's something about the strength, the resilience, the culture. White women are just bland in comparison." "So you exclusively date black women?" I asked, trying to understand. "I wouldn't say exclusively. I just appreciate the beauty and strength of black women. Is that wrong?" The way he said it made me feel like saying yes would make me the problem. So I smiled and changed the subject. For the first 3 months, Connor was perfect. Too perfect. He sent flowers to my office daily. Not just any flowers, but arrangements featuring African violets, protease from South Africa, flowers that remind me of your heritage, he'd say. He'd text me articles about successful black women with notes like, This reminded me of you, breaking barriers and looking flawless while doing it. He took me to every Black cultural event in Atlanta, even ones I hadn't heard of. The High Museum's African art collection, underground jazz clubs in the West End, spoken word nights. At first, I thought he was trying to connect with my interests. Later, I realized he was performing, showing off his cultural awareness with me as his credential. "You're different from the others," he said one night 3 weeks into dating. We were at his Buckhead penthouse, the Atlantis skyline glittering below. "The other Black women you've dated?" I asked, trying to keep my tone light. "No, different from everyone. You're like the perfect blend, professional but still in touch with your roots, sophisticated but still authentic." Authentic? You know what I mean. You can speak properly in the boardroom, but I bet you can also get down at a cookout. I laughed it off, but something twisted in my stomach. He was compartmentalizing me, the professional Zara and the authentic Black Zara, like I was two different products he'd purchased. The Instagram posts started in month 2, always photos of us where my skin tone was prominently contrasted against his. Captions like, "My queen," and "Black love matters," even though he wasn't Black. His tech bro friends would comment things like, "Connor's got jungle fever bad," and he'd just heart the comments instead of defending me. "Doesn't that bother you?" I asked once. "What? They're just joking. Besides, I do have a thing for Black women. You knew that. Why are you upset about it now?" The gaslighting was subtle but constant. 3 months in, Connor invited me to meet his parents in Buckhead. Old Atlanta money. The kind of white liberals with Black Lives Matter signs in their manicured yard, but who'd never actually had a Black person in their home for dinner. His mother, Patricia, greeted me with the enthusiasm reserved for exotic zoo animals. "Oh my goodness, you're absolutely beautiful," she gushed, actually reaching out to touch my hair before I stepped back. "Connor said you were pretty, but wow. And you're a lawyer? How wonderful." The microaggressions came fast and steady. "You speak so well. Where did you learn such perfect English?" "Connor, she's so articulate." "Do you know Oprah?" "Oh, I just assumed. You're both so successful." "Your hair is fascinating. Is it real? Can I touch it?" Connor said nothing. When I brought it up later, he defended them. "They're trying, Zara. They're from a different generation. Don't be so sensitive." His father, Richard, was worse in his supposed progressiveness. "I marched in the 60s. I've always believed in equality. Connor gets his open-mindedness from me." Then to Connor, "Your kids will be beautiful. Mixed babies always are." I nearly choked on my wine. We'd been dating 3 months, and they were already discussing our hypothetical children like breeding specimens. "Dad," Connor said, but he was smiling. "What? It's true. And with her brains and your business sense, they'll be unstoppable." After dinner, Patricia pulled me aside. "I want you to know we don't see color in this family. You're welcome here just like anyone else would be." The "just like anyone else" stung more than outright rejection would have. 4 months in, I made a discovery that should have ended everything. Connor was in the shower, and his laptop was open on his bed. A notification popped up from a blog platform. Without thinking, I glanced at it. "New comment on your post, My Chocolate Queen, week 16. My blood went cold. I clicked on the notification. It was a blog, an anonymous blog called Cultured, a white man's guide to dating Black women. The latest post was about me, not by name, but every detail was there. Week 16 with Z continues to be fascinating. The Harvard-Howard combination creates an interesting duality. She can code switch effortlessly between corporate speak and AAVE, African American Vernacular English. Last night, she was on a work call, completely professional, then immediately switched to talk to her sister with a completely different cadence. The transformation is remarkable. I scrolled through horrified. Every intimate moment, every conversation, every aspect of my blackness was documented like a science experiment. Post titles included The Hair Conversation, A Necessary Navigation, Meeting the Black Family, A Survival Guide, Sexual Differences, Myths versus Reality, Why Black Women Are Superior Partners. The comments were worse. Other white men sharing tips for dating Black women, discussing us like we were Pokemon cards to collect. Connor came out of the shower to find me sitting with his laptop. "Baby, what are you..." "Oh, what the fuck is this, Connor? It's not what it looks like." "It looks like you're documenting our relationship, like I'm some kind of anthropological study. It's a blog about appreciation, about celebrating Black women. By discussing my hair texture and how I talk to my family? By rating my authenticity on a scale?" He tried to grab the laptop, but I pulled away, reading more. Z represents the ideal blend, educated enough to bring to corporate events, but still maintains enough cultural authenticity to be exciting. Unlike K, X number 3, who was too assimilated, or T, X number 5, who was too aggressive with her activism. "Zara, please. You're literally ranking us, comparing us like fucking trading cards. It's not like that. I love you. You love the idea of me. You love having a Black girlfriend. You don't even see me as a person." I should have left that night. Instead, Connor convinced me to stay and talk it through. "You're overreacting," he said, pulling me close. "The blog is about appreciation, not objectification. You documented our sex life, Connor. He discussed the beauty of intimacy between cultures. You wrote about my skin contrast against white sheets like I'm a photography subject? Because it's beautiful. Why can't I appreciate the woman I love? Because you're not appreciating me. You're fetishizing my Blackness." "See, this is what I mean," he pulled away. "Everything becomes about race with you. I can't even compliment you without you making it racial." The gaslighting was masterful. Suddenly, I was the problem for being upset about his racist blog. "Maybe you're just insecure," he suggested. "Maybe you're so used to discrimination that you see it even in love. Are you seriously trying to gaslight me right now?" There you go with the therapy speak. Not everything is gaslighting. Sometimes you're just wrong. I started to doubt myself. Was I being too sensitive? Was I seeing racism where there was just appreciation? "Delete the blog," I said finally. "What?" "If you love me, delete the blog." He was quiet for a long moment. "It has 10,000 subscribers. It's helping other interracial couples." "Other white men with fetishes, you mean?" "That's not fair. Delete it or we're done." He agreed, showing me as he deleted the posts. I didn't know he'd already backed everything up. Month 5 brought new revelations. Connor's company, Edu Equality, claimed to be bringing technology to underserved communities. In reality, they had no Black employees. "We're looking for the right fit," Connor explained when I asked. "It's about qualifications, not quotas." "You haven't found a single qualified Black developer in Atlanta? Why are you making this about race?" Always that deflection. Any observation about racial dynamics became me making things about race. His friends were worse. At a dinner party in Midtown, his business partner Brad had too much to drink. "Connor's always had jungle fever," Brad laughed. "In college, he had a whole system, only swiped right on the sisters." "Brad," Connor warned. "What? It's true. Remember your spreadsheet, rating them by skin tone, hair type?"
That's enough, Connor snapped. I stood up to leave. Connor followed me.
Zara, that was years ago. You had a spreadsheet. It was stupid college stuff. You cataloged Black women like inventory. I've changed. I've grown. Into what? Now you just blog about us instead? The patterns were becoming clear. Connor didn't date Black women because he saw us as individuals. He dated us because we were Black. It was a prerequisite, not a preference. 6 months in, Connor's true purpose for our relationship became crystal clear at his company's investor showcase. I need you there, he said, wearing something that shows you're a lawyer, but also, also what? Also represents, you know what I mean. I knew exactly what he meant. He wanted me to be professional, but visibly Black, a trophy that proved his progressiveness to investors. At the event, he introduced me to everyone as Zara, my girlfriend. She's a Harvard-trained lawyer. Then invariably, he'd add, she also went to Howard. HBCU pride, right, baby? I became his walking diversity statement. An investor pulled him aside, and I overheard, smart move bringing her. Shows you understand diverse markets. Connor just smiled and nodded. Later, he asked me to speak to a group of investors about the Black perspective on education technology. I'm a corporate lawyer, Connor, not an education expert. But you have insights, from your background. My background of growing up middle class in Marietta, Georgia, you know what I mean. I always knew what he meant, and what he meant was always racist. 7 months in, I met Connor's exes by accident at a coffee shop in Little Five Points. I recognized her from his Instagram history. Keisha, a beautiful, dark-skinned woman with natural hair. You're Zara, she said, not a question. Yes? Connor's current girlfriend. I'm Keisha. I dated him 2 years ago. Something in her tone made me stay instead of making excuses to leave. Let me guess, she continued. He called you his queen, told you you're different from other Black women, posts photos of you two with captions about Black excellence, even though he's white, documents everything about your hair routine, has strong opinions on how you should wear it. My silence was confirmation. He told me he was my Nubian princess, she said bitterly. Said I was the perfect blend of professional and authentic. Took me to every Black cultural event in the city. His parents asked about our future mixed babies within the first month. Oh my God. He has a type, and it's not just Black women. It's a specific kind of Black woman. Educated, professional, light enough not to scare his parents, but dark enough to satisfy his fetish. I'm actually biracial, I said quietly. My dad's white. That must drive him crazy. You're not Black enough for his full fetish. She was right. Connor often made comments about my mixed heritage, diluting my authentic Blackness. Did he have a blog when you dated? The blog, the Instagram dedicated to appreciating Black beauty, the whole thing. He's been doing this for years. We're not girlfriends to him. We're collectibles. 29-year-old African-American female lawyer from Atlanta, Georgia. Educated and professional. Month 8 brought Marcus into my life, a senior associate at my firm, brilliant Black lawyer from Morehouse. We were assigned to a major case together. Connor's jealousy was immediate and vicious. You're working late with him again? It's a big case, Connor. I bet it is. He's probably thrilled to have you all to himself. It's work. Right, and I'm sure he's very professional, not thinking about stealing you away at all. The irony of Connor being threatened by a Black man was not lost on me. He wanted to own Black culture through me, but actual Black men were a threat. Maybe you should work with someone else, he suggested. I can't just switch teams because you're insecure. I'm not insecure. I'm protective. Black men have a reputation. Excuse me. He caught himself. I just mean, statistically. Connor stopped talking. But he couldn't help himself.
The mask was slipping more each day. I just think you'd be better suited working with someone else. Someone white? That's not what I said. It's what you meant. The fight escalated when Marcus and I won our case. Connor should have been happy for me. Instead, he was cold. "Congratulations," he said flatly. "I'm sure Marcus is very proud." "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing. Just that you two make a good team. Probably have a lot in common." "Because we're both black?" "You said it, not me." That night, he posted a photo of us on Instagram with the caption, "My queen killed it in court today. Black excellence at its finest. So proud to be with such a strong black woman." The performative allyship, while privately seething with racial jealousy, was peak Connor. Month 9. Connor's laptop was open again, and I saw an email notification from his blog platform. He hadn't deleted it. He just made it private. The latest post made me physically ill. The biracial challenge, when your black girlfriend isn't black enough. He'd written about my mixed heritage as a disappointment, a dilution of the full experience he wanted. He discussed strategies for making me more in touch with my black side. But the worst part were the comments. His followers were giving advice. Try to limit her interaction with the white side of our family. Encourage her to wear natural hairstyles, even if she prefers straight. Mixed girls are practice for the real thing. I screenshotted everything. Every post, every comment, every sick detail of his fetishization. Then I found the videos. He'd been secretly recording us, not sexually, but moments he found culturally interesting. Me on the phone with my mom, me doing my hair, me code switching between calls, all uploaded to a private channel called Observing Black Excellence. I was done. I confronted Aaron at his office, public enough that he couldn't gaslight me into submission. I know about the blog, the real blog, the videos, all of it. His assistant, a young white woman, pretended not to listen. "Let's discuss this privately." "No, we're done. I'm not your social experiment. I'm not your black girlfriend experience. I'm a person, and you've never seen me as one." "Zara, you're being dramatic. You literally have a video titled Z Code Switches with play-by-play commentary."
His assistant's eyes widened. That was academic interest. That was fetishization. You don't love me. You love the idea of having a black girlfriend. You love the credibility it gives you, the woke points, the exotic sex you can blog about to your racist followers. Racist? I've done more for black causes. You've done nothing but appropriate and fetishize. Your company has 0 black employees. You use me as a prop at events. You document my blackness like I'm a specimen. "I think you should leave," he said coldly. "I'm already gone." Connor didn't handle rejection well. Within days, the narrative changed. I became the angry black woman who couldn't appreciate a good man. He told mutual friends I was too sensitive about race and saw racism everywhere, even in love. He posted on social media about the challenges of interracial dating, painting himself as the victim of reverse racism. I tried to love her culture, appreciate her beauty, support her career, but nothing was ever enough. Some people just want to be victims. His followers ate it up. I started getting messages. "Connor deserved better than an ungrateful bitch like you. He appreciated your culture and you threw it in his face. typical angry black woman can't appreciate a good white man. The blog posts about me were edited to make me sound unstable, aggressive, the stereotype he'd accused me of being. But I had my receipts. I did what I do best. I lawyered up, sued him for invasion of privacy, defamation, and emotional distress. "You can't sue me for blogging," he said when he was served. "I can sue you for recording me without consent, posting intimate details of my life, and profiting from it." Yes, profiting. His blog had ads. His YouTube channel was monetized. He was literally making money off documenting black women like we were content. The deposition was beautiful. Connor, under oath, trying to explain why his appreciation blog categorized women by skin tone and hair texture. It was for organizational purposes. "Like a spreadsheet?" my lawyer asked. "That's not like inventory, like products?" Connor's lawyer tried to argue it was free speech, artistic expression, social commentary. My evidence buried them. The videos, the screenshots, the testimony from Keisha and 3 other exes who came forward. We settled out of court. Connor paid a substantial sum and agreed to delete everything, really delete this time, with legal verification. But the real victory came from the tech community finding out. Screenshots of his blog post went viral on Black Twitter. #CollectorConnor trended for a week. His investors pulled out, apparently fetishizing black women while refusing to hire black employees wasn't a good look for an education technology company claiming to serve diverse communities. Educality folded within 3 months. Connor tried to rebrand, claiming he was a victim of cancel culture, that his appreciation for black women had been misconstrued. But the internet doesn't forget. Every time he tried to launch something new, the screenshots resurfaced. Therapy helped. Dr. Williams, a black woman therapist who specialized in racial trauma, helped me understand what had happened. She said simply, "He didn't see you. He saw his idea of you, his fantasy of what a black woman should be."
How did I not see it sooner? Because he was good at it. Men like him had been perfecting this performance for centuries. The liberal white man who appreciates black women but doesn't actually respect us as full humans. I feel so stupid. You're not stupid. You're human. You wanted to be loved, and he exploited that. We worked through the layers of manipulation, how he used progressive language to mask his racism, how he gaslighted me into doubting my own perceptions, how he isolated me from my community by making me feel like I was betraying my race if I left him, how he weaponized therapy language against me. The term is racial fetishization, Dr. Williams explained. It's not attraction to black women, it's attraction to his stereotype of black women. I took a break from dating, focused on work, on friendships, on remembering who I was before Connor tried to mold me into his fantasy. I reconnected with my black friends, the ones I distanced myself from because Connor made me feel like they wouldn't understand. Girl, we tried to warn you. The minute you said he exclusively dated black women, we knew. Why didn't I listen? Because you wanted to believe it was different. We all do sometimes. I started attending black professional events again, not as someone's exotic girlfriend, but as myself, a successful lawyer who happened to be black, not a black woman who happened to be successful. The difference mattered. Marcus and I became friends, just friends, despite Connor's paranoid fantasies. He dealt with his own experiences of fetishization. Gay white men do it too, he shared. The BBC obsession, the SUG fantasy. It's exhausting. We formed a support group at the firm for attorneys of color dealing with workplace microaggressions and relationship fetishization. It grew quickly. A year later, I ran into Connor at a restaurant in Buckhead. He was with a new girlfriend, a black woman, of course, light-skinned, natural hair, professional-looking. She was young, maybe 24, looking at him with the same starry eyes I once had. Connor saw me and paled. He whispered something to her and tried to leave, but she looked confused. "Zara?" she called out, recognizing me from the photos that had circulated online. "Yes? I'm Destiny. I'm dating Connor. The same name as one of his exes. The irony. Nice to meet you, Destiny. Is it true? The blog? The videos?" Connor tried to interject. "Destiny, we should go." "Is it true?" she asked again, stronger this time. I looked at Connor, then at her, young, hopeful, about to make the same mistake I had. "Yes," I said simply. "It's all true." I handed her my business card. "If you ever need to talk, call me." She took it with shaking hands. 3 days later, she called. Destiny came to my office, eyes red from crying. She said, "I found it. The new blog. He just changed the name. Cultured Connections, Interracial Love in the Modern Age. Same concept, same fetishization, new packaging. He has a post about my hair routine from last week. He timed how long I spent on it and compared it to his other girlfriends." I'm so sorry. He called me his mocha goddess on the first date. I thought it was romantic. We talked for hours. I introduced her to Keisha, to the other exes who'd come forward. We had a support group of Connor survivors. The pattern was always the same: love bombing with racialized compliments, performative wokeness, documentation of intimate moments, comparison to other black women, gaslighting when confronted, smear campaign when dumped. He has a type, Keisha said at one of our gatherings. Educated, professional, black women between 24 and 32, preferably light-skinned but not mixed, natural hair preferred but not required. Like he's shopping from a catalog, another ex, Tamara, added. We started a website, connorsurvivors.com, not just about him, but about men like him, the white men who hunt black women specifically, who use terms like chocolate, caramel, exotic, queen as lures. The website grew. Women from all over shared their stories of being fetishized, collected, documented. Patricia, Connor's mother, reached out 6 months after the lawsuit. "I need to apologize," she said over coffee in Midtown. "I was suspicious, but curious. I knew," she continued, "I knew what my son was doing. The way he talked about you, about the others, like you were achievements, not people. And you said nothing. I thought it was better than him being openly racist. I thought appreciation was progress. Fetishization isn't progress, it's just racism in a different costume." She nodded. "I see that now. After you left, after the lawsuit, I did research, real research, not just reading white fragility and calling myself an ally." "What do you want from me?" "Nothing. I wanted to apologize and to tell you that I'm in therapy, working on my own racism, the casual kind I didn't even know I had." "Like asking to touch my hair?" She winced. "Especially that. I'm sorry." "What about Connor?" "He's the same. Blames you for ruining his life. doesn't see what he did wrong. Of course not. His father enables him, says it's cancel culture, that he's being persecuted for loving black women. Fetishizing, not loving. Yes, fetishizing. She became an unexpected ally, donating to organizations that support black women, calling out fetishization in her social circles. It didn't erase the past, but it was something. 2 years after Connor, I met David at a conference on criminal justice reform, a civil rights attorney, passionate about his work, funny, kind, and black. I need to be honest, I told him on our third date. I have baggage. I was in a relationship where I was fetishized, and I'm still healing. Thank you for telling me, he said simply. We can go as slow as you need. David was everything Connor pretended to be. He appreciated my blackness as part of me, not as my defining feature. He saw me as a whole person, lawyer, sister, daughter, friend, woman who can't cook but makes excellent cocktails. He never called me his queen or his chocolate anything. He called me Zara. Sometimes babe, occasionally counselor when he was being playful about our shared profession. He didn't document our relationship like a research project. He just lived it with me. I love your mind, he told me one night. The way you analyze everything, find patterns others miss. Just my mind? I teased.
Your mind, your laugh, your competitive streak, your inability to watch scary movies despite insisting you can handle them, your passion for justice, the way you dance when you think no one's watching. You seen that? Baby, your blinds aren't as closed as you think they are. Real love, I learned, doesn't fetishize. It humanizes. David and I got married 3 years after Connor. Small ceremony, family and close friends. Connor showed up at the reception. Security stopped him at the door, but I saw him, older, thinner, desperate looking. I need 5 minutes, he called out. David started to move toward him, but I stopped him. I've got this. I met Connor outside, wedding dress and all. You look beautiful, he started. Stop. What do you want? To apologize, to explain there's nothing to explain. You fetishized me. You collected black women like trophies. You documented us like we were anthropological studies. I loved you. You loved the idea of me, the fantasy, your chocolate queening, your educated negress, your ticket to wokeness. That's not... Connor, I have receipts, screenshots, videos, your entire blog archived. Don't try to rewrite history. He was quiet for a moment. I've been in therapy. Good for you. I'm learning about my racism, my fetishization, my problems. That's great. Learn somewhere else, away from black women. I wanted to make amends. This isn't AA, Connor. You don't get to make amends to make yourself feel better. You traumatized multiple black women. Live with it. Zara, it's Mrs. Williams now. And if you come near me or my family again, I'll file a restraining order. I walked back to my wedding, to my real life, to David, who saw me as a person, not a fetish. Connor stood in the parking lot, finally understanding he was never the hero of this story. I'm 34 now. David and I have a daughter, Aaliyah. She's 2, perfect, the light of our lives. My law practice focuses on cases of workplace discrimination and relationship abuse, particularly fetishization and racial trauma. The Connor Survivors website has become a resource for women experiencing racial fetishization. We have support groups, legal resources, therapy referrals. Connor moved to Portland, we heard.
Still dating exclusively Black women, from what his latest ex told us when she reached out for support. Some patterns never break. But I've learned to spot them now. The white men who say, "I've always been attracted to Black women. You're so exotic. Mixed babies are the cutest. You're not like other Black girls. I don't see color," while exclusively dating one color. Red flags I wish I'd seen sooner. Last week, a young Black woman, a first-year associate at my firm, asked for advice. "This guy I matched with on Hinge, he seems great, but his Instagram is all photos with Black women. Every ex, every photo. Is that weird?" "Run," I said simply. "Run fast, run far." "But he seems so woke." Performative wokeness is still racism. Fetishization is still dehumanization. You deserve someone who sees you, not your skin color. She unmatched him that day. One saved, countless more to go.
If you recognize yourself in my story, know this: you're not crazy. Those comments about your skin, your hair, your exotic beauty, they're not compliments. They're red flags. You're not an experience. You're not someone's journey into diversity. You're not a bucket list item or a fetish fulfillment. You deserve full love. Love that sees all of you, not just the parts that fulfill someone's fantasy. Your discomfort is valid. When something feels wrong, it probably is. Trust your gut. It's not your job to educate. You don't owe anyone an explanation of why their fetishization is harmful. To my white readers who might be wondering, is it wrong to be attracted to Black women? No, attraction isn't the problem. The problem is making race the primary or only reason for attraction, treating Black women as experiences rather than individuals, documenting relationships like anthropological studies, using Black partners as props for progressive credibility, reducing complex humans to racial stereotypes. To the Connors of the world reading this, we see you. We warn each other about you. Your appreciation is transparent. Your fetishization is obvious. And your time is up. To my sisters still trapped in these relationships, you deserve better. You are better. And when you're ready to leave, we're here for you. Share your stories in the comments. Let's build this community together. Let's protect each other. Let's heal together. Because our Black is beautiful, but it's not all we are. We are lawyers, doctors, teachers, mothers, daughters, friends. We are complex, multifaceted, fully human. And we deserve to be loved for all of it. Not collected, not documented, not fetishized. Loved. Truly, fully, completely loved. As people, as ourselves, as we are. Warning signs of racial fetishization. Exclusively dates people of one race that isn't their own. Makes immediate comments about your racial features. Uses terms like exotic, chocolate, caramel, spicy. Compares you to other people of your race they've dated. Shows excessive interest in your cultural practices as novelty. Takes photos that emphasize racial contrast. Makes assumptions about your behavior based on race. Uses you as proof of their progressiveness. Gets defensive when you point out racial dynamics. Documents your racial characteristics like research. Remember, you are not someone's fetish. You are not someone's experience. You are not someone's type based solely on your race. You are whole. You are worthy. You are enough.
just as you are. Zara Thompson Williams, ESQ. P.S. Connor, if you're reading this, and I know you are, you narcissistic fuck, stay away from Black women. Get therapy, real therapy. And maybe, just maybe, try dating someone for who they are, not what they represent to your racist fantasies. But honestly, just leave us alone. We suffered enough. 6 months after publishing this story, something unexpected happened. We filed a class action lawsuit. Turns out, Connor wasn't just blogging. He and a network of men like him were part of a private forum called The Collectors, white men who specifically targeted, dated, and documented Black women. They shared tactics, rated women, traded approaches. 17 women came forward as plaintiffs. The discovery was horrifying. Spreadsheets rating Black women by skin tone, hair type, and authenticity, strategies for love bombing specific to Black women, guides for acquiring different types of Black women, point systems for various achievements. We won. $3.2 million in damages split amongst the plaintiffs. But more importantly, we exposed them. National news picked it up. The Collectors became synonymous with racial fetishization. Connor lost everything. His reputation, his business connections, his family money. Turns out, Patricia convinced Richard to cut him off. Last I heard, he was working at a call center in Idaho. Still trying to date Black women online, still getting rejected, still not understanding why his appreciation isn't wanted. Some lessons never learned. But we learned ours. Trust your instincts, share your stories, protect each other. Never apologize for demanding full humanity. We are not collectibles. We are not experiences. We are not fetishes. We are human beings, deserving of real love, and we're done accepting anything less.
And so, this story comes to an end, but the pain it carries is real and lasting. Behind his mask, there may be charm, but also lies, manipulation, and silence. If you've experienced something similar, please don't hesitate to share it in the comments below or send it to us directly. Your story matters, your truth matters, and your voice might be the one that saves someone else from falling into the same trap. Together, we break the silence. Together, we unmask the lies. And together, we rise stronger. Thank you for listening. Share this story. Save a sister. End the fetishization.